That there was Savage and Spawn Breezy because of you, and obviously in the studio we've got Savage. I was going to say Savage, but it's Savage. How are we?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm very good, and 2014 so far has been amazing for you, especially across the ditch in Australia. So teaming up with Joel Fletcher on Swing Remix #1, plus Timmy Trumpet. How did that collaboration come about?
Man, well, what's really funny about how I met that guy was I was with the Decons and we were performing in Sydney, and we were staying at this hotel called right in the city centre, and we were just heading up in the elevator, and they came up to the level where our hotel room was, and I bumped into Timmy Trumpet and Matt Stafford from the Stafford Brothers.
Okay.
And then we just got talking. They were like, bro, we're having a little after party in our room. So we went back to their room. And then while there's like a whole bunch of crazy stuff happening in the room.
We won't mention.
Me and Timmy Trumpet are in the corner, like, and he's playing me beats and stuff like that. And that's how we got connected, yeah.
And is that how it usually happens? Like, it's not something quite formal. It can be quite informal like that. You just sit down and party.
Exactly. Like, you can bump into people in the weirdest places. And, and once you start talking about music, like, it doesn't really matter where you are. You know what I mean? You're just on the same page.
Yeah. And obviously you've inked a deal with Ministry of Sound. That must be quite exciting for you as well, because that's so completely different. It's not your usual vein of sound. So I think you're working on an EP, aren't you?
I'm working on a few singles, and maybe at the end a compilation or EP or something like that. But how I just thought, man, in order to beat what I've already done with the success over in the States and then in Australia and over here, I just thought, well, maybe it's time for me to sort of try a different lane and reinvent myself. So, and so far so good, man. It's done really well.
Yeah, it'd be quite refreshing for you, wouldn't it?
Oh, definitely. To see a whole different audience, a whole different crowd, different everything, you know what I mean? It's not your usual urban crowds that I'm used to. But the cool thing is my hardcore supporters are following me through, so it's cool.
Crazy nightclubs in Australia and everything like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, man, I just did a Nickelodeon Slime Fest.
That's not a nightclub party.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It just throws you to different places, you know, and you know, I got to take my whole family, take my kids, and it was a blast, man. It was awesome.
Nice. And you're also on the bill for Being Homegrown 2015. That's obviously a festival you've probably been to a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. It's actually, man, that's it is the best festival we have here in New Zealand, because it's all local music, you know what I mean? And to see a festival like that be able to come back every year is a good thing for us, because it just showcases the talent from this country, you know what I mean? And to be invited back third time is awesome.
Yeah. How would you describe the crowds when you're performing? Because I was talking with Benny Tepiner tomorrow, and he was saying that you were performing swing. It was going off. He was a little bit intoxicated and enjoying himself. But apparently there was just a massive sausage fest at the front. We can't have that next year, because I want to be up the front. With swing, you need women in the front. So how would you describe it?
He must have had some beer goggles on, man. I didn't see a sausage fest in the front. But yeah, it was crazy. It was awesome.
Yeah. And what else have you got coming up in the pipeline? Anything else that's quite exciting for all your fans?
Well, I'm about to go on a tour in Australia very soon. Just put out the single Take These Shots, which is under my own label, which is Savage Entertainment. And I've got some new Decepticons music coming out too.
Awesome. A little reunite.
Yeah, a little. Let's get back on the bandwagon.
Yeah. Cheers, thank you so much for coming to the studio and having a chat with me. We'll see you at Homegrown 2015. And here is that single that went #1, topped the charts in Australia with Joel Fletcher. It's called Swing.
Swing Remix.